Coach Greg Kampe up at the podium. Just a reminder, we have microphones on both sides of the room, so if you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get one to you. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach and then go into questions.
Did anybody sitting in this room tonight ever think that they would see Tom Izzo in an ugly Christmas sweater?
This was your whole plan?
Oh, yeah.
Did you pick out his sweater?
No, I called him Thursday and said, we got to change your image a little bit. And he agreed to do it. I figured he wouldn't. I texted him last night and said, I got a good one. I said, I saw your tweet of you playing the accordion with the horns. I probably wouldn't wear the horns, but you got to come up with a sweater. And I didn't think he would. And so I was nervous. I wasn't going to do it, then I was. And at the last second, I said, hell, I'm coming out there. I can take it off at halftime.
Did he get a technical foul for the sweater?
I don't know what he got it from, but as soon as he got that, I said to my staff, I'm getting 3. So we were almost the Grinch. I wore his colors and came in here as the Grinch, wanted all the little who's to go home. But, you know, what you saw tonight is, I think we're the best 2-11 team I've ever coached. I haven't coached many 2-11 teams, but I think we're a good team. And, you know, Lampman, he didn't shoot a basketball from Thanksgiving until 5 days ago. And I'm mad at him because he had a chance. He got good looks, and he makes 3 of those in the first half, which he's capable of making all of them. You know, we're up 8, 10, 12 at halftime, and now it's a different game. But if you know anything about us, which most of you don't, is if you go look at Boise State the other night, same thing. 3 minutes go and a half, under 4, timeout, we're ahead. Go down 7. How we lose, how you guard so well for 17 minutes, come out of a timeout and lose Joey Hauser. And then you've got number 5 and Aikens, whatever his name's pronounced, in the corner. And what we do in that situation, get in the passing lane so you can't make a direct line pass, fake, and go to the shooter. This guy wasn't going to shoot it. What was he going to do with it? Drive in there and stop and look to pass, right? My guy goes like this. They throw it to him. He makes a 3. Bang, bang, we're down 5 because of stupidity. After we had just, you know, if we did it all game, you could, and maybe it is my fault, but you can blame, what kind of zone is that? What are that coach doing? I mean, that's awful. But for 17 minutes, you saw those guys execute a game plan and play perfect defensively. That team, we're not a good rebounding team. They got 4 offensive rebounds in the first 3 minutes and won the rest of the half. Now go look at the Boise State game and look at the first 5 minutes of the second half and we get beat. Michigan State scored 23 points up to the first media timeout in the second half. 4 minutes, they scored 23 points, and we stood there. And then I had a few choice words for them. What'd they end up the rest of the game? I mean, we had an 11-minute spurt in the second half. They scored 5 points. Now, they're a great defensive team, and we knew that it was going to be hard. That's why when you get an open shot, you got to make it. If you're going to win here in Nebraska, they're, 180-4 in here or something like that? All right? So when you're going to play in a place like this, especially when you're Oakland, you got to make those shots. You got the opportunity. You got to make them, son. And we didn't. We shot 30%. I mean, this is as disappointing of a game for me as I've had against Michigan State in a long time, because nobody expected us to do this, because nobody pays attention to us. All they do is see the record. They don't know that our best player is not playing. They don't know that Lampman's been out. They don't know those things. They just look at your record and say, well, how did this team, why is that team 2-11, right? I'm sure that if you don't know anything about us, you were thinking that the first 5 minutes, or you were thinking, well, they're lucky. But it's not. Well, I've got good players, and we've got a chance to be a really good team if we ever get everybody healthy and, you know, follow a script for 40 minutes. I will say this when I said that about Jalen Moore. I'm aware that Malik Hall didn't play. And I'm aware if he had, he would kill us, because he's the type of player that hurts us. Big, strong guy by the basket. He's going to get 6 offensive rebounds against us. So I'm aware of that. So we had an opportunity, right? We had an opportunity, and we blew it. That was a long opening statement, wasn't it? I'm not really happy right now. That's why.
But you got that shirt, so we can't say
Pretty
anything
cool.
about it.
We were almost. All the little who's would have had to go from the upper deck and then go down.
But knowing when you see all of these games, and Coach, I know there's no such thing as a moral victory, but knowing that you can play so competitive in so many games, when you get your full complement of players back, how do you feel you're going to do in your conference?
Well, Leon Rice, the coach at Boise, we stayed there a day because we have no place to practice. So we stayed out in Boise to practice. And he came over to the practice. I'm pretty good friends with him. Pretty good friends with most everybody because I'm old, you know. Nobody looks at me as a threat anymore. So, I wear that, yeah. So he told me, he goes, man, we were scared of you. He goes, you don't know how good you could be when you get healthy. Yeah. I mean, Jalen Moore's, he had, what, 28 against you last year, 32 the year before maybe? I mean, he's one of, at the mid-major level, they're in the point guard. I mean, he's as good as anybody. We could have used him tonight, plus he's going to score. And what we did really well tonight, my guess is when he comes in here, he's going to be angry about, is we got to the rim against you. We spread the floor, and the reason we do that is because Townsend's so good. Everybody's doubling him because we're not making shots. So we want to spread the floor and get guys to the rim. And we got, we scored all our points early at the rim, and people, Sudoku or whatever his name is blocked a couple. I begged for goaltending. You're not going to get that here. But I was begging for it. One of them was, two probably weren't. But it set a tone to my players. Get to the rim. We're going to get those. And I felt great about our offense. God, there was a play where we got a wide open three, got the rebound, kicked out, got another wide open three, and neither one of them, from the moment it left their hands, you knew it wasn't even close. That pisses me off when you got a chance to do something.
Greg, obviously Rocket played here, and talking about getting to the rim, there was a moment late where he finally went to the rim and got the foul, and you were like, hey, you get to shoot free throws. Like, I guess for a guy like that, that's new.
Then he missed the free throw,
well,
and he went like this,
yeah.
And his man dribbled up the floor and scored a layup. And those are the things I've got to fix. Rocket's, you guys know he's an unbelievable talent. He's struggling. I think sitting out with the injury last year has really hurt him, and he's hurt his confidence in that. But what he does, and he's fighting me and fighting me and fighting me, is he wants to catch it and do all this stuff. And what he doesn't understand is in our offense with the shooters we're supposed to have and with Trey Townsend, if you catch that ball and rip and go, who's going to guard you? Even here, who's going to guard you? But at our level, who's going to guard you? But he won't do it. He catches it and does this. And I begged him, first possession of the game, he does it. First possession. He's shot like 11 free throws all year. And finally, and then when he gets in there, he wants to float it instead of come to a 2-footed stop and use that body that every one of us would love to have, right? You wouldn't be sitting there if you had that body. I still would be, maybe I did have it back then, I don't know. You know what I mean, though? Use it. It's a work in progress. If he sticks with it and he stays with me for another year, he's got another year, and he gets through it and decides not to fight me, because if he doesn't want that, he made a mistake coming to Oakland, because he had the same thing here, he's going to get the same thing there. You're going to do it the right way. And I'm going to take you out. I don't care who you are. I'm going to take you out if you don't. And I did that to him a couple times tonight, and I don't think he was very happy about it.
Greg, some guys at homecoming, they go off. Most guys do not. Rocket and Blake didn't make a free throw tonight. What did you say to them before the game about how tough it was going to be coming home?
Well, I can't repeat that in here, and I can't repeat what I said at halftime. And it's really, for Rocket, it's the first. He'll get another chance next year, and I'll expect much better. For Blake, this is his third time against him, and come on, man. Come on, man. Blake's good. Blake is good, and Blake's a shooter. Come on, man. 3 for 12? Come on. What I said to him was not, come on, man. Growing something, I don't remember what it was.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. We got Michigan State players.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Tyson, you want water? Nope.